10 minutes to 8 a.m. on KUTV Rise Today Art and Culture Monday. Kwa mpigo tena zaidi tunaingia katika uchambuzi wa magazeti. Social media will make sure wamekuambia this will be bold. Will make sure this will be real and raw and rare. So the Standard wanaongea kuhusu Mother's Speak. It's still a celebration of Mother's Day yenye ilikuwa jana. Najua kuna watu wengi sana leo hawataingia kazini juu jana ilikuwa holiday, ilikuwa Sunday na lazima washerekee leo. But as nyinyi mnasherekea hapo nje, the Standard is speaking about Mother's Speak, pain, power, and the plea for dignity in delivery rooms. As the world honors mothers, Kenyan women share harrowing tales of childbirth neglect, courage, and hope, demanding dignity, safety, and compassion in hospitals where motherhood begins and too often is nearly lost. Hii ni taarifa iko ukurasa wa 2 na wa 3 wa The Standard, mpenzi mtazamaji. Habari kuu ambayo tutakuwa tukiangazia siku ya leo, kuna moto katika magazeti, na kama hauamini jishikie nakala ya The Standard. Moto ulioko hapa hivi sio jambo la kufurahia kwa sababu ni blanda ambayo tutakuwa tukiongelea siku ya leo. Kama vile ambavyo nilikuwa nimekuarifu, leo niko na vijana. Niko na vijana ndio tunasaidiana na wao kuchambua haya magazeti, tujue ndani na nje, tukutengenezee mtazamo, alafu ukijishikia gazeti unakuwa tu ni kustampa. Pale hivyo niko na wakili. Huyu ni wakili wa mtaa. Why do I call him wakili wa mtaa? His name is Robin Karani. Kule mtandaoni namuita Mkuro. And in his community of Roysambu, naongelea kuhusu Kahawa West, Zimmerman, Githurai 44, kama vijana wako kwa ngori yenye wanahitaji wakili mwenye ako na akili na hawana pesa, they always run to this guy. And leo tuko katika magazeti hapa hivi bado juu ako kwa hizo shughuli zake. He's an advocate of the High Court. He is the president 44 Bulldogs Kenya. He's also the chairperson of Ujana na Ujuzi CBO in Zimmerman. Karibu sana wakili on the show.
Asante, umenichocha.
Vile inafaa. Vile kutoka upande wa Meru. Pale hivyo nimwambia tuko na watoto wa Maumau. Wewe unatoka Kirinyaga, right?
Kirinyaga.
So tuko na watoto wa Maumau, and the last born pale hivyo katika Wiper Democratic Movement anakwenda kwa jina Diana Makena Kimathi, all the way from Meru. She's a youth leader in Meru County. She's a youth leader in Nairobi. She's a youth leader in Kenyatta University, where she has won awards including strategic Person of the Year katika KUSA Awards. Saizi yeye bado anakalia pale hivyo kiti cha vijana katika Wiper Democratic Party. Wako hapa hivi guys, tuzungumze kuhusu magazeti. Ladies hao wengine wako hapa. Lady and gentlemen. The Daily Nation naongea kuhusu Ruto stumbles from one crisis to another. The Star is talking about Safaricom injecting 1.2 trillion to economy. Nataka niwape chance ya kusalimia maji, mwajulie hali, mwambie mmekuwa mkifanya nini kwa ground. Ulikuwa wakati wa mkiongelea Blood Parliament on newspaper review, yes, with Sylvia. Na tumerudi due to public demand. Ndio tufanye ile kitu upande kwetu wanasemaga kohinyia. Wasalimie ro.
Watazamaji, habari ya asubuhi. Acha niseme ni habari ya asubuhi. Kwa majina naitwa Robin Muremi Karani. Mimi ni wakili. Kama ilivyosema, mimi pia ni kiongozi wa vijana. Ninaongoza vikundi vya vijana kadhaa. Natoka huu mtaa wa Roysambu constituency. Mahali popote hii Roysambu utanipata. Na kitu yote ambayo inaongelewa hii Roysambu utapata jina yangu pale ndani. Na nashukuru kukuwa hapa.
The people's clerk.
Siku zote.
Thank you so much for your time and karibu sana.
Asante.
Kiongozi wa vijana. Tumetembea na wewe sana, lakini siku hizi unatembea sana peke yako. Wasalimia watazamaji, acha wajue umekuwa wapi. What have you been up to?
Good morning. Jina langu ni Diana Makena Kimathi. Nimetoka upande wa Meru. Hiyo ni upande wa South Imenti. Kijiji kinachoitwa Madhangarine.
Unajua exactly. Madhangari ukiteremka comes with thangari, a type of grass hapo hivyo.
Isikiangi.
So kwenyu inamaanisha nini? Madhangari.
The same.
Ni the same.
Yeah, it was ilikuwa ka village which hiyo ni day ilikuwa imesprout sana. And it was ilikuwa Andalusians. So that what it was called. Nimekuwa up and down, very true. Mainly in youth missions. We, like the day before yesterday, I was in the sides of Makueni County. That's an area called Musani Secondary School. We were delivering books and also mentoring the young students. But Jang, have already started civic education. Have you started?
Sisi tulianza kitambo sana. We've always been doing that.
Have you started this one?
Tulianza kitambo, hata naweza kupea curriculum.
Tushamaliza. Hiyo syllabus tushamaliza. We are now mentoring other young people to
take the space. Yeah, exactly. So that was the message we're sending to people, especially to the young who are sprouting. By 2027, they will be voters. And
so you've interacted with the youths of Makueni.
Exactly.
Makueni is considered deep interior. How are they embracing, or what's their attitude towards civic education?
People have a very positive attitude towards civic education. They want to learn more and more, and we have to give them this information outside where they are. And especially, we will come to realize that people really want to know what does this entail. They're hearing about commissions and all that. What is commission? What does it entail? Which is the criteria? Which is the process? And they're hearing about youths taking spaces. They're wondering which are these spaces. And that is why we shall be there to emphasize more on the role of the youth in politics. That it is possible for them not only to be voters, but also to be participants in the 2027 elections. We walk the talk. Thank you.
The reason I'm asking this is because sisi, even though tuko Nairobi, I would say tumekuwa have challenges about civic education.
Sure.
And how to give it to our people. Vitu kama hizo zimefanya kina wakili, they start being innovative, that we can use other platforms za kupeana civic education. Kama ni sports, football, kama ni cleanups, tukiwa hapo tunapeana. Wakili, what do you say impact imekuwa so far in our efforts za kupeana civic education kwa community, using all the innovative ways zenye zinaweza patikana?
Nitasema it has been an exciting journey with challenges here and there, but bado tuko na a long way to go in terms of what is being delivered. There are so many conflicting even issues based on who is giving out the civic education. Juzi tumekuwa na public participation za constitutional amendment bill ya CDF. And how these people come and tell the attendance is how CDF has helped us. The projects that have been done by CDF, na vile ikikosa kuwekwa kwa katiba, tutaumia, tutakosa kupata hizi vitu. Whereas in actual sense ni ati CDF, the one we knew as CDF, was declared unconstitutional in 2015. They created NGCDF. Then it was declared unconstitutional last year. So ikaambiwa by 2026 ifungwe. So what they do is what? Ni sheria ndio mnasema iko unconstitutional. Hiyo constitution ndio tutabadilisha. Ndio sasa sheria ikue iko ndani ya constitution. And that is how hiyo ndio naweza sema has been the biggest challenge to anybody trying to give out civic education out here. Information iko distorted based on where you are coming from. Kama unasimama side ya gava, kuna venye unaambia watu vitu venye si hivyo.
So kuna kudanganyana kwenye katikati ya hizi civic education.
Sana.
Ndio maana inakaa an expensive affair. Yet ni kitu hadi tukikaa chini tunatenga 5 minutes tuongelee kuhusu civic education.
Kwetu tuliitwa NGO, tuliambiwa ni NGO ndio inapigana na CDF. Na ndio maana utapata tunataka CDF iende, ndio sisi tupatiwe pesa za funding za donor, sijui ndio tufanye hizo project, tunyang'anye MP. A very concocted story.
As all that is happening, Safaricom is still injecting. The telco supports more than 1.2 million jobs. currently, hivyo ndivyo the Star wanasema. And now they're talking about Safaricom injecting 1.2 trillion to economy. Ni story ambayo iko page 4 and page 5 of the Star. We are receiving this news amid other news about Airtel gaining some boost from Elon Musk, ya kwamba watapewa chance ya kuwork na Elon Musk ndo internet network ikuwe fiti hapa hivi. Safaricom have been enjoying a monopoly. Kutoka uzaliwe Safaricom imekuwa ikifanya hizi vitu. What would you say is your view on ways we can use to kumaliza hii monopoly in communication and its benefits or advantages to us?
So me also being a part of part of the battalion which uses Safaricom. For real, if they have been enjoying that monopoly, and over time, you'll come to realize that slowly by slowly they are starting to uplift their projects, even in the data sector and all that. I don't know if I'm the only person who has been experiencing this, that Safaricom in a certain way, it has started lowering its quality as it were pa kitambo. That is something I don't know, because people have been looking over online the Safaricom story. People are out here complaining and all that. But if Airtel brings that out, then I'm so happy, because that means we have more jobs coming on board. That means also our experts, they have something else to do at the end of the day. And it's okay for them to inject the money they have injected to the economy, but woe unto us, because we will not get the audit of that money where it has gone. They have ejected. Where will that money go? You get that problem. So I would feel good if that money was being ejected in youth-led projects, okay? Because we have a lot of youths currently outside here who have done the economic part of it, we have the IT part of it, but they have nothing to do. So imagine if that 1.2 trillion was used in opening companies for these innovative youths who perhaps have come up with different ways on how to do different things. That would be a different story, okay? Instead of that 1.2 trillion, yenye itatumika kwa juu ya magari, apparently. We really need we need a very innovative guys, a very innovative people who have a good strategic plan. That 1.2 is being injected directly to the government to do what?
Maswali chungu nzima. Peter Ndegwa wakili, who is the head of Safaricom at the moment, the CEO, anasema our foundations has invested 18.4 billion, impacting 13 million lives in the past 5 years. That Safaricom in impact 13.5 million years in the past 5 years. But not rumors. Wewe juu kwa corridors of justice, you've interacted with the people wenye wamekuwa ndani juu ya Safaricom. I will give specific examples. Yes. In 2023, during the anti-finance bill, kuna mtu alishikiwa kwa group ya WhatsApp. I'm sure Safaricom was involved. Hiyo kesi ilisha. Mtu ameshikwa juu ya group ya WhatsApp, Safaricom ameweza kupelekwa pale hivyo. Wengine wamekuwa wakisema abduction zetu sisi zimehappen kwa sababu Safaricom wamepeana details zangu. Why are we not hearing Telcom doing this? Na Telcom inaamini wando ya gava zaidi from way back siku za booth. Telcom ndo wamekuwa hapo hivyo, ama Airtel. Why is it Safaricom?
Now, number one, gava iko na shares kwa Safaricom.
Kwani hawana shares kwa Telcom Kenya?
Telcom wana own. But tunaenda pole pole. Hiyo ni number one. Number two, kuna kasheria walituletea kanaitwa computer misuse and cybercrime. And that is the law that they have been using kushika watu. Ukishikwa juu ya WhatsApp, juu ya Twitter, wanaenda wanakushtaki na kitu inaitwa hiyo misuse.
Incitement, misuse of socials.
So anakutumia hiyo, and for some time Safaricom imekuwa, I would say, too willing kwa gava kusaidia anything ya cybercrime, or rather quoting and saying ndio inasaidia kustop hizi incitement. So imekuwa very willing kwa gava, and unapata before ukuje utolewe ushikwe, that police officer has to do a miscellaneous application to court, na every time anadu hiyo miscellaneous application anapewa, na hata kuja kukuuliza, na court haitakusikiza, itakuwa tu ni polisi na makaratasi zake kotini, na anapewa chance ya kuscan simu yako, aone transactions zako, aone unapigianga akina nani, na anaweza hadi track mali your last phone call ulipiga ikiwa wapi, ulisaviwa na nini gani. And I think that is one of the things yenye imetupush away from Safaricom. What Safaricom is trying to do and what they are talking about, wamekuwa na two projects kadhaa, hata kwa ball wamekuja, walikuwa dina rugby, but hizi project zote are all aimed at getting back to the good side of the young people. Tumefika ile place yenye ni the young people ndio wanasema hapana, tutabeba ufala hivi tena, if this is what is going on, heri tuende kwa Airtel si wote. And then what does Elon Musk do? Anaona chenye mnaandika kwa X, so mwishowe anasema nini? Anakuja kuchukua Airtel. So what does that do? Safaricom ni hetaskiata huku wakimbia watafute waseme wameweka pesa. Ukienda kutafuta hiyo pesa yenye inasema imewekwa, hautapata mahali. Kwani tumeishi, ukiangalia kwa gazeti leo kuna place wanaongelea kuhusu Communications Authority inasema ifunge 30 television stations juu ya adverts, juu ya betting adverts. Na nijua anashindanga huko wakiambia watu, we tuma namba, sijui tuma 3 numbers, sijui fanya nini, utashinda, na wanapigia mtu mmoja ati ameshinda sijui 100,000 na alieka 30 bob, na hakuna kitu kaa hiyo. Na wanafanya hivyo the whole day. Kila show iko na betting yake, sijui unatatua 3, mara sijui unapiganisha 5, vituko. And hiyo ndio nini yenye the same script ndio tunachezewa hapa saa hii na Safaricom. Personally nina hope watasimama, but sioni venye kunaelekea, ninaona wakiangushwa. For once tutakuwa na kitu yenye tutabaki Safaricom for M-Pesa services only.
It is about idea whose time has come.
Yes.
Na ndio hiyo imefika sasa. There is something in what she is saying that Safaricom, the migration imekuwa ngumu. Every time baba amekuwa in disagreement na government, anasema boycott Safaricom, twendeni Airtel, but it has always been hard. So now Kenyans are hoping that with Elon Musk's money Airtel wanaweza boost services. It has been about services.
Nika infrastructure to it was always, kitambo ilikuwa ni utapata duka ngapi za Airtel money before upate M-Pesa. Wamejipush kwa hiyo side. Sasa sasa hii tuko kwa kuna places ukiingia Ocha Airtel haioni. So Safaricom ilikuwa imengangana kwanza kuingia to that part. So we are hoping chenye Elon Musk anafanya ni kuwa nini. Kumbuke bado Elon Musk ndiye ako na Starlink.
Kweli. Na hiyo Starlink ndo hiyo Safaricom walikuwa wanapiga sana.
Exactly.
Na wakisema if we allow these foreigners, wanaita foreigners wakuja wapige biashara hapa ikiwa uncontrolled, itakuwa mbaya sana. We need some control.
Ni wa Kenya.
Now now with Starlink coming into picture, na Safaricom wamekuwa kiambia pia kuna tuwizi tudogo kwenye tuna happen karibu kwa kila mtu, but since ni cents unaweza kosa kufeel, but uto to cents tukiunganisha tunakuwa mamilioni ya pesa.
Kuna kesi ilikuwa ya watu wa Absa. And they used to do kwa transaction zako, watu wanafanya large transactions, anakuiba 2 bob 3 bob 2 bob 3 bob. Ukiangalia ka receipt ma 2 bob ma 3 bob, you never check. But sasa kama wewe unafanya transactions zako like 100 in a day, amekuiba dhao. Na kuna wengine kama wewe wanafanya hivyo. So walikujanga wakashika a ring ya my employee wakiwa wameiba up to 48 million. Na uto to bob
tudogo. So if Safaricom is injecting 1.2 trillion economy and this money is helping to sustain 1.2 million jobs, then Starlink ikishikana na Airtel money, Wakenya wengi watasaidika.
Tutasaidika sana.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Na tutakuwa bado tumeweza kuinject kiasi. Whatever Safaricom is injecting, we will inject.
We will inject more.
Tuingie kisiasa. Ruto stumbles from one crisis to another is on Daily Nation, the headline making headlines hapo hivyo. Na wanasema President Ruto has withered several storms since assuming power in 2022. But after navigating one crisis, another crops up, testing even more the foundation of his administration. Kwa ukurasa wa 5, wa 4 na kabisa mpenzi mtazamaji. Magazeti yanaongea mengi tena zaidi kama vile ambavyo nilikuwa nasema, na tulikuwa ndani ya Mount Kenya. Diana, ulikuwa umetuambia kuhusu how politics is, na tukasema it's not about hadi seeing the future, it's about now. And hapo hivyo ndo nilikuwa nataka tuweke wakili Karani ndani. We talk about the corridors of justice na vile kuko saizi, that in Mount Kenya there's an embattled, there are two embattled deputy presidents of this country. Tuko wapi kisheria kwa sasa? The Court of Appeal waliweza kusema ya kwamba whatever happened in Kirugoya was null and void, since wale majaji watatu hakuna vile ambavyo wangempatia, ama hakuna vile ambavyo deputy CJ angeweza kuconstitute majaji kama hao wafanye kazi kama hiyo. Yet we still have a chief justice. Tuko wapi kwa corridors of justice in terms of our political stability as a country?
Okay, so number one, nafaa understand that impeachment ni kama kukuwa convicted in court. Kukuwa impeached. Na unakuwa impeached, impeachment yako inakonfirmiwa wakati tumeingia Senate, imevote kukuimpeach. That's what they did with Gachagua. And from that moment on, the moment Senate ili decide to vote to impeach him, he ceased being the deputy president. But he has avenues of court that he can use to challenge your decision na arudi. Kama unakumbuka kuna MP alikuanga Embu, governor alikuwa Embu, alikuwa itwa Wambora. Alikuwa anatoleangwa koti na mrudisha, anatolewa koti na mrudisha. Tukafika elections, ma MCA wakavotiwa wote nje, yeye akarudi. So the same nini applies. So Gachagua akakimbia kotini. Kukimbia kotini, alikuwa na seek, in the beginning alikuwa na seek interim orders za mtu mwingine asikue appointed until kesi yake kesi ikue sorted. Then for court zetu high court, for kesi yenye iko na public interest inatengenezeangwa a 3-judge bench. Haisikizwi na mtu mmoja. Kama unakumbuka tukipewa ruling ya finance bill, ilikuwa 3-judge bench.
Housing levy.
Tukipewa ya BBI, ilikuwa 3-judge bench. But that 3-judge bench can only be created by the president of the Supreme Court, who is the chief justice. But in instance ya mtu wetu, aliimpeachiwa usiku, asubuhi
confirmed.
Ameenda kotini, akingoja atapewa interim orders ndio hiyo bench kuwe constituted. Deputy CJ amesha constitute a bench na imemnyima orders na Kindiki ameapishwa. So when that happened, akaenda Court of Appeal kwanza kuchallenge chenye imefanyika hapa. Court of Appeal ilirusha appeal yake nje, but ilikubaliana na yeye on one aspect, that the deputy chief justice could not empanel a 3-judge bench. Hiyo si kazi yake. Na so for that purpose kulikuwa na irregularity. Anarudi high court kusikiza explain kesi yake ya impeachment, whether he can be reinstated. But sahi anarudi akiwa na kawin kadogo ka niliwaambia chenye mnafanya was wrong. Court of Appeal imeaffirm hiyo kitu ya it was wrong. Tutaendelea na kesi, lakini that one was not supposed to happen the way it is. So kwa legal jargon, deputy president ni anaitwa nani? Sitaki kutumia hiyo jina. Professor. Acha nitumie acha nitumie professor sababu ningetumia jina ingine inakujanga naturally na singependa kuisema.
Forgive me wakili for saying this. Nasikiaga nikiwa so hurt talking about that professor of law as a lawyer, knowing very well the kind of laws he broke under his watch. as minister for or cabinet secretary
No,
for Interior
unajua
and Coordination.
the irony actually is on when he was CS Interior
Sure.
and watu wa nini wakaandamana, watu wa Azimio wakaandamana. Not only was he brutal, but he's the one who instructed this Roko that they are fighting with right now to bring a bill of how we should be given fines and penalties when we protest, and give sentences of ukipatwa in an unlawful assembly how you are supposed to be imprisoned. They were the two of them ndio walikuwa natupangia. The CS for Interior then anaenda bunge anasema we should create laws for this. Then Roko comes up with a bill na anaipeleka parliament na ikawaramba wakanyamazia hiyo story. So inakuwa funny when now you see them, the two of them. Sasa sahi mmoja ni deputy president, mwingine ni CS, alafu wanakosana. Mnatuona nini?
Kwao nyumbani. That was so sad.
Sasa
he has not even finished a month. We have not seen his work, yet they are fighting. Hiyo story ya legitimacy ya deputy president is one of the things or one of crisis that President Ruto is facing at the moment. Yes. The Daily Nation are talking about Ruto stumbles from one crisis to another, and wanaendelea kusema President Ruto has withered several storms since assuming power in 2022, but after navigating one crisis, another crops up, testing even more foundation of his administration. Kuna mambo kadhaa yametajwa pale hivyo. The budget showdown and opposition to new taxes. Hapa hivi youth tunaingia sana juu. Hizi ni vitu zinatu affect, na I'm sure huyu Makena akona kitu cha kusema pale hivyo. Kitu cha pili, uproar over IEBC nominees. Hii bado ni crisis President Ruto is dealing nayo.
Sema ni ya vijana sana. Hapo tuko tena sana.
Nataka tuzimark ndo hizi zenye zinahusu vijana zaidi tuziongelele. Number 3, row with governors on county cash. Wanalia sana juu ya county cash. Tulikuwa tumesema kuhusu magavana wakisema pesa za barabara zinataka kuondolewa kwa mikono au mfuko wa gavana, zikae kwa rais pekee. Niachieni. If we achia him everything, then what will be the role of this other court of arms of government? Haya, number 4, a two-faced Raila Odinga, that President Ruto is facing a crisis. Hawajui baba leo ataamka aseme aje, hawajui kama ako ndani ama ako nje. Number 5, growing opposition to broad-based government. Opposition ina grow to broad-based government. Hapo hivyo all other persons or all other people wenye hawako kwa hiyo government wanasema hii bread-based, yes, vile unaiita haiwork. Haya, number 6, battling Kenyatta shadow. There is still Kenyatta shadow hovering over State House, hovering every
akitambia vijana take up.
Lazima kutakuwa na Uhuru. Uhuru amepiganisha vijana, Uhuru amefanya nini? Number 7, Gachagua fueling Mount Kenya rebellion is another crisis that is affecting President Ruto at the moment. Number 8, they keep talking about there are no strings attached, but number 8 on Daily Nation they are talking about string of losses in court. Hizi nazo ni kama ziko attached kabisa kwake azitoki. Number 9, public disquiet over performances by CSS. Diana Makena Kimathi leo on this particular show KUTV Rise Today at Culture Monday alisema hatuna CSS.
Ni ukweli.
What we have ni watu wa kuraba stamp na kusema rais amesema. Number 10, unfulfilled promises to the hustlers.
In short, uongo.
Number 11 na ya mwisho, fallout over MP Were's murder and Gen Z killings. Everyone heard Governor Wanga saying hii kitu hatukuongelelea, hata tukiita Governor Wangamati, we did not sign up for assassination of our members. Do you remember Kenyans talking about blood-based? There are more blood scenarios to be talked about.
The Bible says that there shall be no rest for the wicked.
Good. Twende ladies first. Msichana wa Meru. Swala tumeongelea 11 issues that are giving Ruto headache. Ruto stumbles from one crisis to another. We've touched on 11. na vile nimesikia
Kuna
zote
zingine.
zinatuguza sisi kama vijana. Your opinions?
My opinion is I think we as a nation are tired. The last time I was here, Ojwang, I told you that currently we are silent, but you see the way we are silent, it is the anger. It is fermenting and fermenting. Yeah? We are just waiting for that day. It shall Kibuyu tabast. And when that day comes, I don't know where we shall be seated, because it will be so hectic for everyone.
It won't be good.
It will not be good at all,
But we keep
especially for
talking,
the political
we keep talking,
class.
we keep discussing on every newspaper so that
I
we
don't
can
think
make
someone
things
will go
good.
to exile. Someone might go to exile, apparently.
And it's not raw.
And and do you know why? This is the pain of the people, and now more people are joining. More people are joining. Ni kama hiyo kibune unaendelea kuongeza east kidogo, a pinch of east, a pinch of east. Alafu wakati italipuka, you start saying we don't know how we got here, yet you know how we got here. So at the end of the day, please let the government change kindly. Listen to the people, chill, relax. Stop behaving as if it is your first time to enter power. You want to have everything, but we are at a very decentralized position where every person has their own shares. For you to run a nation, there is the art of collaboration inside there. There is the art of communication inside there. Stop running a one-man show. That way, it will never work, apparently. Even if unasikia someone like Kinawanga talking, and now they are double talking, it is because they don't feel what they have. The last 2 times I've been here, I've told you there is nothing called broad-based. Whatever you are being given, it is a superficial position. Si unapata mshahara. Aya, whatever happens, ebu nyamaza. That is why you cannot hear these people talking in depth what they are doing.
So unasema
because they don't know what they are doing.
Wamekuja wanyamaze. Tumekupea hiyo nyamazo. Wacha sisi tuendelee
with what we have been doing, okay? Wewe tulia, relax. You get that point? And that is where we are as a nation, but we have to come out of that pit. Otherwise, the last time we were here, we were talking even about the current debt we have. Right now, to shall cross the red line. What will happen in our lives? Tutafika wapi? Tutaendelea aje? We have 2 more years. And these 2 more years, atujui kama ni madeni tutaendelea
kufanya. We have 1 more year.
Are they really 2?
We have 1 more year.
Are they really 2?
Tutaongea kuhusu hiyo. Haya. Hapo hivyo the question of numbers. The 2 years, are the 1 year according to our constitution, wakili tuko na wewe hapa hivi tutaongea kuhusu all that. But behind the scenes, deals zinaivana. Na from the look of things, these deals hazikuhusu wewe kama Mkenya wa kawaida. Because ni deals zinakuweka at jeopardizing space. Listen to this. RSF's tragic mission. We are still talking about the same person in another role. Yenye tutaita, sijui venye tutaita. But they're talking about Kenyan pilot was killed in an attack by the Sudanese army at an airstrip controlled by the rebel Rapid Support Forces, RSF, in northern Sudan. The pilot was reportedly on a covert mission supplying personnel and military hardware to the RSF, a revelation that risks tarnishing Kenya's image. For a nation celebrated for its role in mediating regional conflicts and often dubbed an island of peace, the operation, linked to senior government officials, amounts to an embarrassing own goal in a volatile conflict. We are talking about our picha yenye ambayo wamepeana pale hivyo ni ya moto. Hii ndege iko na pilot pale hivyo who is no more. His name is Pilot George Nyamodi, and other Kenyans were killed after Sudan army attacked RSF controlled airport. Tumefika hadi hapo hivyo, aiding and abetting what other countries are calling terrorists, not their government, not even opposition because they are militia. Hizi ni deals zenye ukiangalia kwa gazeti zinaivana, but it's not the kind of fire, the kind of warmth would accept or embrace as a country. You are a youth. You are a lawyer, meaning you are well versed in matters diplomacy, matters democracy. Where are we headed?
Let me start by saying this and taking you back. In 2010, the people of Kenya gave to themselves and to the future generations a new constitution. That new constitution birthed new life to our system of governance, to our democracy as a nation. We were starting afresh. Unaona ile kule MP wa Tanzania mwenye tunaanza upya. We were doing that in 2010. So one of the things yenye tulikuwa tuna foresee is that we want a government of autocrats and technocrats. We want a government of service. And then we will have politicians as legislators. We will have them in parliament. They can discuss mambo yao huko. Wanaweza sema hiyo kelele huko, but the government will be a government of work. So one of the positions that we did is we used to have ministers. And these ministers would be chosen from amongst members of parliament. Na tukatoa hiyo kitu. Tukasema now we don't have ministers. We will have cabinet secretaries. And they will be independent people, not the elected members of parliament. Tuko sawa hadi hapo?
Hapo tuko fiti.
Then
tuko fiti studio? Tuko fiti sorry.
Then we went to our first election under the new constitution was in 2013 March. When we had the election, the government that came in, the first speech they made up of State House, wakiwa wamevaa ties zinafanana za red, was that they will be the only politicians in cabinet and everybody will be an expert. You remember that speech?
They also added another name, technocrats.
Yes. And the first person to be nominated as a CS was a guy called Fred Okengo Matiang'i. We did not know him before then. When he came in as CS for ICT. And at that particular time, Kenya was grappling with digital migration. Tutoke kwa aerial, tuingie kwa decoder. Na Wakenya walikuwa wamesema hawafanyi. That guy did it within 3 months.
Aliweka kampeni nyingine huge.
Tulimove tupende tusipende.
Nilikuwa nasikia tu watu wakiimba tunatoka analog tunaingia digital.
Exactly. And we actually saw the embodiment of ikitu inaweza work. Our constitution can work. Of course, haikukuja ikiwa flawless. Tuliingiziwa tu politicians tuingine hapo in the name of technocrats. Kuna kama tunaitangwa na Jibalala kalishi kwa tourism. Muende hata mchange government yeye ndio minister wa tourism. Ilikuwa obviously kuna hizo zenye zilipita, but I wanted to focus on just that small aspect. But what we have with the current government is that walienda ku lie on akaka loophole kenye kalionyeshwa 2013. And all our CSs are political appointees. It is now for the first time watu wa Kandara walikaa chini wakachagua Alice Wahome, and then akaingia bunge akaachana na ubunge akakuwe CS warudie by election. Jua wakuwa na kazi ya kufanya.
Hiyo pesa hata hakuna pesa nyingine.
Hakuna kitu kingine wanafaa warudi wakavote. So we are talking about Mbeere North. They woke up early, wakapanga line, wakachagua mtu mbunge. Ameenda huko ameachana na hiyo kazi, amekuwa waziri.
In 202.
So mrudie election. Jua kuna kitu, your work is you are voting machines. Kazi yenu ni kuvotianga tu watu. Si wafanyie kazi, ni kuvotia watu. And that's the kind of cabinet that we have. Ndio unawasikia wakikuja huku nje wanatuambia nini? We sit in a cabinet mali. It's the president who explains the programs in your docket. And kama ni yana explain, he's the one who is going to run with it, and you will be taking instructions from Farouk and you are the CS. Na kama hana kitu kuongea na nini na docket yako, your docket has no money. hakuna mahali anatengeneza pesa na docket yako, so unakuwa tu hapo, unakuwa flower girl, unakuwa mwingine alikuwa anaitwa sijui gender and what na hakuna kitu anadu.
Aisha
Exactly.
aliisha
aliisha but in the long run ni we have deviated away from the constitution and allow me to be the devil's advocate. I expected that from Ruto.
Yeah.
And it is impossible for you to expect Ruto to implement a constitution that he was against from the very beginning.
Kabisa wakili. Wakili umeka vitu in perspective such that moving forward nasikia more uoga where we are as a country because we are still not united. You know, we say that Kenya is a community of people. It is not a must for us to be one. But if we want to move forward, ndo mkoloni ati wasiwa irudi tena, we must be united. We have a lot of presidential candidates right now. Ukiangalia magazeti kuna hadi vijana morara. The youths are saying this is a state project that has no portfolio in terms of office. Others are saying that Maraga from TC Land is a project that doesn't know he's a project. People are saying that we have now watu wa Mbeere North. Watu wa Mbeere North ni watu walitokea 2022 wakasema tunataka moto wake hapa vizuri sana. And juu huyu ameshindwa. Can we go back to the forest? Tujitafutie firewood zetu, tuingie huko bungeni, wakaweka Roko akawaka, akatusahau. Sasa akaanza kutupiga sisi akisema mkitokea maandamano kunafaa kuwa na hii sheria na hii sheria na hii sheria. Hiyo ni kutukatail. Amekuwa saizi sie tunarejea tuko na IBC na hii IBC inalia. As inalia, all this is happening. We look like we are in a chaotic country. Matiang'i has come, amepiga homecoming moja safi sana. I saw Kisii governor who is from ODM in that platform. I saw Kisii senator who is from ODM in that platform. Meaning watu wa Kisii na Nyamira have endorsed Matiang'i for 2027. Huko nje manze wa Kenya wanamtandika proper. Wanamwambia for what happened in River Yala in 2017. Wewe na State House ni kama Musa na Canaan. Ni kuona tu utaona. Toke hapo hivyo Rigathi Gachagua anaambiwa hapana. Wewe kwanza tulikuwa tunakuchukia. Sisi ndio tulikuwa tunasema you must go. Kuliendaje kwa kuja saidi yetu ukakuwa sasa wewe ni Yesu. Sisi tulisema kufa dereva kufa makanga
akahama gari.
Saa hizi what we are talking about ni the semiconductor who is there hata yeye leave. Ndio sisi wenye gari tupeleke gari kwenye tunataka. Makena, what are we supposed to do? Ile ya ukwelo yenye wewe unaweza fanya na huyu afanye na mimi nifanye as youths so that this country can be better then in 2027 in accordance to this constitution yenye inatuambia tunafaa ku have elections within the 5th year. Tutafanya nini sisi kama vijana?
Let us take spaces. Both electorate spaces, spaces which are the key point in the decision making. That is where we can, because we are a country where we are believed to be a democratic country. It is believed and it is alleged. But the voices, you can't silence the voices of many. The 25th June protest happened because it was the voice of the majority. Let us take these political spaces as for these electorate positions, let us be seen there. And let us also, the youths, let us take ID, let us take votes. As we are taking charge in social media and everywhere, let us be there. Let us also learn to analyze all these people with whatever they have done. And, we thought Ruto was so good until we tried to narrow down his life to even when he was here as a finance. We didn't ask ourselves.
Agriculture and education.
There was a time he was also in treasury.
Ruto. History nenda mbio.
There was a time he was in treasury. I don't sekumbuki mwaka gani, but he was also in treasury. And even agriculture. We haven't narrowed down to ask ourselves, what did these people perform? What did they do? Yes, he was deputy president and all that. So I am kindly asking the youth of our country, let us not align ourselves with the fact of the move way to policy or anything of the sort. Let us look people towards their ideas. Which are the ideas? What are the ideology? What are their practices for the longest time they have been inside there? That is what we currently, as the people of this country, we should be talking about. Because we have so many people. Remember, I'll tell you, vying is a personal interest. It is you want to. Every person has an interest. Unaona? What do you want to do? Is it to serve the people or to serve yourself? We have people who want to serve their businesses. We know of people who wanted to enter into power in order to safeguard their own businesses because apparently they were facing a lot of backlashes.
Kasarani.
We have them. Have you forgotten the Keroshe brewery is also what happened during that time?
Senator, yes.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, we have to narrow. We are a very brave generation, and I tell you for sure, before as we enter 2027, these people shall be narrowed down to what have they achieved and what have they done, and it will be in the hearts of the common mananchi, you as a youth, me and you, to sit down and look at this bigger picture. Who is the person who suits to become this seat? Who is the person who suits to spearhead this country? Who will take this country ahead? So yeah, that is the talk we shall be talking about.
Who is that person?
The time tells.
Sawa, time tells. Nilikuwa nataka tupitie hii profile ya Ruto before niende kwako, because according to history yenye mimi nimepitia na kusoma, I only know of other people from Rift Valley who have been CS or ministers in finance. 1997 2013, all that time amekuwa member of parliament President Ruto, representing the people of Eldoret North constituency. Between 2007 and 2013, President Ruto served as Minister of Agriculture. 2011 to 2013, he served as Minister for Higher Education, Science and Technology. 2013-2022, Deputy President of Kenya. And present is the president. When I say president, namaanisha kwa kila mahali hadi South Sudan. Now, hizi vitu zinahusu South Sudan, zinaguzwa mpaka Daily Nation. Joho dragged into Turkana gold mines field, CS on the spot over irregular issue of licenses. Hii iko page 8 na Daily Nation. Wanasema ya kwamba there are 4 watu kuuza gold explorers, na wanasema ujamaa amewanyima license kabisa. That is in Turkana. The Standard wanaongea kuhusu RSF mission. What's happening in the northern part of our country? We've had people, watu wametoka nje wameingia Kenya through hiyo border tu iko hapo juu hapo Turkana nini, and 20 people were massacred. You remember that? Yes. And CS wa Interior Coordination Kipchumba Murkomen akaongea tu kidogo, sijui kama kutoka hapo hivyo wali expect we do what they keep saying in parliament, accept and move on.
Inanishangaza sana. You see now, in Sudan, there's civil war, and the current government has its own air force. It's called SAF. Then the Bandia government is RSF, led by a person called Hemedi. He used to be the vice president. Sasa ni rigiji mwingine.
Why are we not saying is President Ruto? Because President Ruto too was a vice president or
so,
was a deputy president.
Tutumie ni kaongo mwingine basi. So he's sprouting to take over from
the current president.
Yes. And one of the things he did is he formed a parallel government, and he formed it where? Here in Kenya. Na inarudisha tu mtu kwa hiyo state ya we don't really have CSs. Mwenye ako kwa CS foreign affairs, as long as ameshiba amenyamaza, ako sawa.
Unakumbuka memes zikitembea 2022 that him and the current speaker of the National Assembly, they don't fight. They are peaceful people.
Wakishiba
as long as
wameshiba.
Okay,
na ni buy one get one free. But anyway, we have been having a lot of mishaps in diplomacy. and hiyo kitu ilionyeshwa na the AU run ya Baba. Baba did not lose because he's unpopular. Baba did not lose because he doesn't speak Arabic or that he is not Muslim.
Not Muslim.
He did not lose because of that. He only lost because of the current state of Kenya as a state and its foreign relations with other countries within Africa. We have already had a feud with Somalia. We've had a feud with Congo. Now we are in Sudan. Ramaphosa is against us. Traore in Burkina Faso is against us.
Sure.
So
Tanzania hata hawakutuvotia, hawajisikii na sisi.
Nani Museveni aliwaita akaonyesha ng'ombe. In fact alikuwa anataka kuambia nyinyi ni ng'ombe, lakini hawakushika wakajipeleka.
Nani anawaambia wamemea pembe? Kumbe anaonyesha.
Alikuwa anataka kuwaonyesha this is you na mshiki na wakaenda huko akakosa kuwafuata. But deep down tunaona hiyo breakdown ya our foreign relations. Sababu Ruto was a friend of Joe Biden. Trump gets in, what does Ruto do? Runs to China. So what does that say about your country and in terms of where it stands? You can't maintain a relationship with a country kama ma president wenyu wana behave kama sorry to say wasichana in their teenagehood. Like uko hapa, uko pale, uko hapa, we can't run a country like that. You need to have a way ya kuiregulate. So nina insist on that. That I can address so many mishaps za diplomacy in Kenya, but we are doing so bad that hata uhitaji hata kuelezea shosho nini. Kwa nini South Sudan kuko na shida? Yeye anajua tu mahali Kenya tu Ruto ameingiza tu kichwa kimeumana.
Mkenya mtazamaji, haya ndio maswali unafaa unakaa chini unajiuliza, hatima yako iko wapi? Rais anakurepresent kivipi? Tukikuwa na blunders kama hizi kama nchi, wewe unakuwa uko wapi? But mambo haya yote yamesemekana, tumeguza, hatuna CS. Could that be the reason why the CSs that we have are snubbing Senate proceedings and all of these places they are being asked to present themselves? On page 2 on the Star, they are talking about Treasury CS in trouble with senators for snubbing invite. Senators have threatened to censure cabinet secretaries who failed to appear before them to respond to questions, with Treasury CS John Mbadi now at the center of growing storm over executive accountability. Since we've not given you clear instructions that you're a CS, you feel you're so powerful, you cannot avail yourself at Senate's meetings when they have summoned you. They've clearly summoned you because they want you to explain some things, including civil servants to lose 66 billion hardship cash. Haya yote yakiendelea, I feel like we need a lot of diplomacy. Because when we are not using diplomacy, the other one is force. That force sometimes inakuwa ni violent. Sitting at the helm of diplomacy in terms of party structures in this country is Wiper Democratic Movement, because they call their leader the uncle, the good boy. He's always there when it comes to tunataka peace. Kuja 2007 we saw the then president Mwai Kibaki calling him, kumbe umeng'ang'ana umepita katikati yetu ijakuwa raisi kwako, but you are the vice president from now on. Since then to 2013 walifanya kazi nzuri sana. 2013 akaambia kuja tuanase, au ilikuwa code kakataa, hiyo code kakataa. 2017 akaambiwa nao bado usisimame tena tuanase hawa, ikakataa. And now they are the people who should be helping us in diplomacy. You come from that house. Are you feeling like your party is ready to take over this country now that Kalonzo Musyoka is saying kwa mara ya kwanza ako serious kabisa, hii achi mtu?
We are very ready. And I've said we are in a country where we love bad boys. You know, and when it gets tougher, we remember the good boys.
And it gets tougher, we remember the good boys.
We remember the good boys, and they're like, oh my God, we did a blunder here. You know, I wish I would have married that good boy instead of this bad boy who was parading me how good they are, you know, where he was wearing a good suit, telling me how he'll give me a lot of money, until you enter inside there and you realize, oh my God, this person kills people who are living, you know. You feel bad. But now can we make a good decision? Can we weigh the goodwill of these people, the political goodwill of these people? You know, also on the other aspect, ukipata mtu anaachia people leadership or power, that shows you how this selfless person is. That I'm not here to fight for power. I'm here to fight the betterment for the Kenyan people. You get that point? It does not say that this candidate is weak. No, it doesn't say that. It only outdoes the selfless in this person, that I am here to serve the people. And that is what my party leader has been doing. Been fair to serve the people. Unless he has any scandal, you want to pinpoint.
I can.
Hatuwezi fanya hivyo. Hatuwezi fanya hivyo saizi because of time. But we can all agree that with the help of the producer, we can do this another time. Just saizi nataka niwape 30 seconds each tuingie lines za kikwetu, but haya magazeti nataka nifunge na mambo ya sporti. Kwa sporti tulisema